I love this topic. I love talking about this topic every single time. Lolicons are weird and need to be jailed. All right, chat. It's time to talk about lollies. It's time to talk about the lolicon. Lollies, or just, just lolly in general. Just the whole subject in general of lolly. So, and probably Shotacon too as well. So, she said the L word. Chibi Reviews uploaded a video, said lolicons are weird. Lolicon is disgusting and ban it. I assume it's some casuals getting upset or so. Oh, is this? I'm curious if they finally discovered the Blue Archive community. I wonder if they did. I'm super curious to see what this is about. I love talking about this subject, to be honest.
I want to catch a lot of heat for this video and probably receive hundreds of thousands of death threats for even making a video discussing lollies and even trying to defend lollies, but we're going to get right into it because I've already faced death threats, I've already faced slander, false accusations, people doxing me, sending me stuff in the mail, all sorts of horrific stuff for my stances on fictional content, so you know what, screw it.
Of course you would be in the trenches because I see you sometimes.
I'm not going to bow down and bend the knee. I'm going to just straight up get into what needs to be said. And so this is a post that crossed my feed today by Real Schlep. Now, you might not know who this is, but there is a very high chance you do. This individual is someone that is very well known for being a pred catcher. They are someone that makes their entire channel around catching
okay. It's the Roblox person. Yeah.
predators on Roblox and different forms of the internet, as you can see here, and they have 2.4 million followers. So this is a pretty large channel that gets very decent views, as you can see here, 7.7 million views, 8 million views. Obviously, they are very successful as a content creator, someone that is way beyond my success. I am just a drop in the bucket in comparison to this individual that is making YouTube content. However, what really shocks me is that an individual that has their entire career based around being a predator catcher is someone that cannot separate fiction from reality. That is
Oh, it's this conversation where a person... Okay, they cannot... Okay. Let me see. I stand with Gideon when lolicon is something... Can't tell you how many predators I've caught that end up having some type of child something. He edited it probably because he realized none actually had anime child ero manga. Wait, so this was the original post. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Originally the post said anime child ero. He edited probably because he realized none actually had anime child. So you're telling me that he is basically projecting on lolicon enjoyers and, well, I'm gonna say Shotacon enjoyers to be predators. It's basically, and even though it's proof that said that none of them did had that, so he's already failing already immediately. I see.
is what really blew me away when I saw this post today, and the amount of damage that this post and this individual is going to cause to actual real people and victims out there and allow criminals to actually get away. He also responded to me twice before I even uploaded this video, and instead of even countering the points I made, he decided to go straight into slandering me, bringing up my personal life that's completely irrelevant.
What the hell? No wonder your fiance cheated on you? What does that have to do with anything of the sub... Man, Schlep, I'm not gonna lie, you're losing a little bit credibility from me, man. I respected you for you going after predators and everything like that, but this is just a low blow. I'm not gonna lie. What does that have to... What does bringing his fiance into the conversation have anything to do with the topic that you two are discussing at the end of the day? Like, what does that have to do with anything, you know? This again with gun violence by playing video games in the early 2000s to lolicons or pedos in 2026. I know. Someone like myself who enjoys lolicon and shotacon content, I you know, wow. Ooh, wow. I'm a pedo. Wow, that's crazy. Even though I've been walking around the earth for fucking millennias, and number one, where I live specifically, they can differentiate uh fiction and nonfiction over here. That's number one. Number two, no one bats an eye, unless there's some people or so that like are not in the space of the medium, then yeah, that's kind of like basically it.
The topic at hand and basically shifting the subject matter away from the topic to kind of muddy the waters and basically try to make my points seem kind of invalid when he's not even addressing my points to begin with. So I
Your
think more or
mom's
less the
bunions
case
be
is
hurting.
closed, that this man right here actually doesn't care about victims and people. He's more or less just wanting brownie points, making a profit off of people, and that's about it. So this is pretty, it says a lot about his character, honestly,
It
just seeing these
does.
type of posts from him. And so let's just get right into this. So first off, let's address the elephant in the room, which is what Schlep is talking about. He's talking about how lollies are basically, if you like lollies, you defend lollies, you're a PDF. That's what he is pretty much saying in this post. And what's very interesting about this post, by the way, with him trying to compare the two of fictional content that's a drawing on a piece of paper or an animated pixel, he actually edited his post here, which Packer Girl showcases a screenshot, and I'll showcase this as legit in a second. But basically, you can see his original post here, he actually has anime in front of it, showcasing what he's actually talking about. Then he quickly edited his post to remove it to make it
The
seem
only reason why he changed it or so because he was getting a lot of blowback. That's the reason why. He was getting a lot of blowback specifically because they were clowning on him that like, wow, you can't differentiate of a cartoon and an actual real kid, bro. What are you, bro? Like, what's wrong with you?
more extreme than it actually is. And I don't think I need to really explain why this is bad, but it obviously is very disingenuous in trying to basically make a molehill into a mountain, or trying to make something look worse than it actually is. Pretty much saying that basically nobody would care if it was a drawing, but the fact that he removed that wording of anime from it, it makes people tune in more to what he's saying and believe what he's saying is actually talking about real victims and real people that are actually getting harmed. And to showcase that this tweet actually has been edited, by the way, here it is, the actual post here, as you can see, getting community noted, by the way. And if you
That's
go
pretty
here to
funny.
last edit, you click on this right here, you will see his original post at the bottom here. This is a legitimate post he made that he edited out anime. He changed nothing else with it besides removing anime from the actual wording to basically make the post look way worse than it actually is. So this is actually insane. And this gets into the topic of what I just talked about, that it's really horrible that someone that dedicates their entire career and presence online to actually go after criminals would actually compare a drawing to actually real victims. That's what's so disrespectful. And let me explain.
The funny thing about it is like they all kind of think this way. Almost every single one of them think this like sort of manner. So where they think a fictional cartoon is the same as someone owning real CP.
Why this is a problem. So, first off, you are a police officer in, the office at the county sheriff office or whatever, and you only have a certain amount of officers. Let's say there's 30 or 50 officers within the police office. You receive a call that apparently someone is harming someone, and you take this call, you take it very seriously because it's your job. So you go and investigate, and when you go and investigate whatever's going on, you come to find out it's actually just a drawing. It's a pixel on the screen. It's nothing. There's nobody being hurt, no victims, nothing.
You're
It is
wasting their
just
time.
entirely a drawing on the screen. And I don't think I really need to outline why this is a problem, but all this does is it stalls police from being able to actually catch real criminals and help victims be able to recover. It really just actually overloads the system, and it causes a limited amount of resources to be used for false calls. That's pretty much what happens in this case with people that can't
It
separate
could.
fiction from
It could
reality.
be.
And so the fact that you have someone like Schlep that his entire career is to try to bring people to justice, willing to water down a term and actually cause it to be harder to catch real PDFs, is actually insane to me. Now, I do want to talk about something that does need to be acknowledged, and that is Loli in general. Now, look, I'm just gonna outright say it. If you find lollies and stuff weird, completely fine. I think there is nothing wrong with someone thinking it's weird, bizarre, whatever. You don't want to associate with people like that. Fine. That's completely fine. It's well within your right to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've said this multiple times, specifically when I said that like, hey, if you find it weird, that's fine. That's a-okay. That's like your right. That's your opinion. You do you, I do myself. If you like armpits, hey man, knock yourself out. Hey, you like feet? Knock yourself out, bro. Like, honestly, I could care less what you like or what your fetishes are, you know? Or whatever, like, dark fantasy you're thinking in your head specifically. Like I said, go knock yourself out, bro. Just just leave the lolicon people and the shotacon people alone. That's it, man. Just leave them alone. It's not a big deal. They're not bothering you, you know? I'm like, if you don't like that specific type of content, just block it and move on. That's it, you know? It's pretty obvious.
However, you cross a line when you start calling people accusations that aren't true. For instance, you calling them
Exactly.
a PDF, or you start comparing a drawing or a pixel to an actual
Yes.
living, breathing human.
Yes.
There is a very hard line there that is crossed when someone does that. And all it does is water things down and makes the entire conversation very muddy, to where now when you have a conversation around stuff like this, like if someone's a PDF or not, what it comes down to is like, are they talking about a real person or are they talking about a drawing? And when you have something like this brought up into a conversation, it's already bad. And it's happening. It is something that has definitely grown exponentially in the last like 5 to 6 years, to where the conversation around this entire topic has been muddied and just
Yes.
tampered with, to the point to where
It
people don't take
has.
it as seriously anymore, because people cannot separate fiction from reality, and all they have done is actually help criminals get away with stuff. And in fact, most of the time when people are this adamant about lolly content that are basically saying it is the equivalent of actual real people, most of the time, from what I have seen, they turn out to be some form of like a problem or a criminal themselves, or they have skeletons in the closet.
That is also true. People who usually accuse people who are lolicon enjoyers, we're going to talk about lolicons more because, shotacons aren't really getting targeted as much. Uh, them themselves get proven that they are the ones that are the actual people that have CP or talk to kids or, associate with those kinds of things, Like what he said specifically, skeletons in the closet, right? We have seen that multiple times in the past where people get exposed or so that they are the ones that are also in the wrong, that they do the actual heinous crimes compared to somebody who is a lolicon enjoyer. They're just kind of like minding their own business, you know?
Something is going on there, and I feel like it's absolutely insane. Like this is really, I feel like Schlep should be really ashamed of himself for even making a post like this. Once again, if he wanted to call lollies and stuff weird, that's fine, nothing wrong with that, that is completely fine. But to go this far, and then even to change his actual message to remove anime from it because he knows people don't take that seriously because it's not real, because it's not something to take seriously,
Hmm.
that's just insane.
Yeah.
And once again, you know what this makes me look at? This his entire channel. It makes me look at, it's not about actually bringing justice to people to catch actual criminals. It's about making a profit and making money off of it. And look, yeah, how can you not view it like that? Like, this person clearly doesn't potentially care about children if he's willing to water down terms to this degree. That's what it looks like. It's not a good look. It's not. And I feel like this is
He's
just
not
such a
wrong.
shameful thing to do. I cannot believe he actually did this. Now, with that being said, I will say, I will always have the stance to protect fictional content. I have been very adamant about this for a very long time, and no amount of death threats, doxings,
Yep.
people trying to
Yep.
scare me off the internet, slandering my name, false
Yep.
accusations, whatever, nothing along that lines is going to make me stop talking about what I believe in, and how people have a right to express themselves in art and
Yep.
also within literature. And basically, if people are going this hard after, let's say, lolly content, why aren't they going hard after Game of Thrones? There is some very crazy stuff within Game of Thrones' books, by the way, that have actual characters that are technically not 18 plus within it. But for some reason, that is completely fine, because you want to know why? It's popular. It's a big series. People accept it. But obviously now, with anime reaching a new norm and people kind of encountering anime for the first time, and the main go-to voice now is to say anything that isn't mainstream shonen, like for instance Chainsaw Man or JJK.
Fucking mainstream shonens, I swear, dude. I swear to God. You're definitely art casual if you just only watch shonen animes.
everything's icky or weird and needs to be gone, censored, and it's problematic, we could see this. There's a big shift, and there's a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of people only playing one side and not understanding, and they're picking and choosing what's a problem or not because they just don't like it. And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, they don't really care about actual victims or people getting harmed. They're all in it for a profit or being able to make brownie points and clout and everything about that. That's basically what they're doing. And I'm just gonna say it like it is, guys. I would make a lot more money and I would have a lot more sponsorships if I straight up just said Loli is bad. I would. I'm just gonna be blunt.
That is
I would
true,
make
actually.
so much more money, and I would be less like I would be deemed less problematic to work
Yeah,
with.
if you virtue signal or so, you'll probably get those people who like that at the end of the day. Same mentality. It's the echo chamber type of thing. After thousands anime, you really don't care about lollies and shota content. Well, yeah, if you watch anime, if you're in the space of the medium, it's just part of it. It's just part of anime. It's been there for like forever, you know. Funny enough, I have it's a similar story where I have a lolly uh a like a cute lolly VR chat avatar, and I was talking to some people or so, and this one random woman just comes up to me and says, "Why are you in a lolly avatar?" And I'm like, "Because I find it cute and adorable." And then she's like, "Yeah, but that's a problem or so, you know." And I was just, and then she like wanted to change me and my perspective on things. I'm like, "No, I'm older than you, hun. I can differentiate the difference between a fictional character and like a real life person." So they were really adamant on trying to like say that I'm like lolly baiting. Like I'm like trying to I'm trying to like get like older men or something like that to like come to me, and I'm like, that is the most like that is like literally the most wildest assumption I've like ever heard in my entire life. So yeah, I just ignored them, and then I just went off my day or so, and then they pretty much left. So
With or anyone to talk with me if I just straight up went against it. But I won't, because I'm willing to separate and I see the difference between fiction and reality. I
yeah,
know there's a
exactly.
big difference, and trying to say they're the same hurts real people, and I feel like that is so horrible to do to people, actual people that have went through stuff. So long story short, I I'm probably going to get mass hate for this video. Oh, I know I'm going to get mass hate. But it is what it is. It's something I've
Yeah,
already dealt with
probably.
before. I can take it, I guess, at this point, but just needs to be said. I could not believe what I actually saw here. But thank you so much for watching. May all of you have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy.
Yeah, no, personally, I just don't personally care. At the end of the day, it's a fictional character. You know, it's not gonna hurt anything or anything like that. This reminds me of the '80s joke. Why break the law of being a predator when you can work for the FBI and see it all legally? Yeah, making a personal attack instead of making a valid argument really shows he's just another Logan Paul hiding under the mask and catching predators. He's 100% is just doing it for the profit, and he really has believed when he's preached that he would be trying to get the artist arrested, but obviously he knows that that would be stupid. Yes, predator found with bread in their fridge. Therefore, all bread eaters are predators. Calling a false police report is actually illegal, and leads to the false reporter to go to jail. Yeah, honestly, like personally, like I said, I'm one who consumes that type of content, and there's nothing wrong with it at the end of the day. That's all I gotta say. You know. You like what you like. I'm not gonna complain about you. I'm not gonna criticize you that you have a mommy fetish or you have a feet fetish, you have an armpit fetish, or whatever outlandish fetish that you can insert here, you know? I'm not gonna say anything because that's your thing at the end of the day. So I'm like, just leave the lolicon people alone. And at the end of the day, and if you're going after the lolicon people, you should be going after the shotacon people too as well. So what is this double standard, you know? Cause you forgot belly button? That's a thing? Well, I learned something new today, to be honest. Well, yeah. Honestly, Schlep, I'm a little bit disappointed in you, to be honest. Just because, like, I respect you and your work and everything that you do, right? Capturing predators and everything. But I'll be honest with you, this is definitely a eh, pretty low bar in my personal opinion. That's like literally grabbing, like, scraping the bottom of the barrel or so for like people, I guess, for validation, I guess. So if it exists, it's a thing. Yeah, probably. Hey man, there could be probably be a fetish for, I don't know. Well, actually, there is that one fetish or so where people pretend to be dogs. Actually, so Uncle's initials have this stance too, but eventually changed the perspective when seeing how Ko is. It's all she said. People don't separate reality from fiction. Same goes for guns for gun culture. Yeah, exactly. It's just like the whole violent video games and equals to violence. That you being a violent person. It's the same topic. It's literally that specific same topic in general. But it's like whatever. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you just have these tourist. There you go. Sorry, I was trying to find the word or so. You just have these tourists or so that just want to change the medium itself and like calling everyone a PDF file with no proof whatsoever, and you just kind of point and laugh at them at the end of the day, and that's kind of like basically it. Like you should really not be listening to these kinds of people. You should be like pointing and laughing at them and making fun of them or so for actually remarking that, for saying that a 2D image is equal to an actual CP. Same for why Warhammer enjoyers play the game for the xenophobic racism storyline, but they aren't Nazis in real life. Same for the Warhammer enjoyers. I see, I see. Yeah. I was like, because personally, like I said, personally, I don't really care at the end of the day. It is what it is. I enjoy what I enjoy, and yeah, that's kind of like basically it. So